clearly know how to play.
Fight!
See, I just don't know any of these moves, but I'm hanging in there. I'm doing pretty good for myself. It's just, man, I can't really seal the deal. Like that. I've never seen that. Yeah, that lag is terrible. I can't do a super right in front of her face.
Battle spirit surge. Fight!
Let's dance! Stay down! Ready to take this!
Might kill. The fact that I am mounting an offense and defense at all is extremely impressive. I literally just picked this game up, and I'm already able to hang with guys like this.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
I got real bad habits, though.
Enjoy destroying you!
Fight!
Stay down!
Hitting a lot of buttons, man. She's hitting a lot of buttons. But I mean, she's got them in pretty good places. I'm the one that's got to figure out how to get around. And you know, I mean, I'm telling you, the fact that I'm mounting any kind of an offense or defense is absolutely attributed to the fact that I've played other fighting games, and some of that helps you adapt to other fighting games. Look at this. There's no excuse for me to be as good as I am with this character, right? Against this person. There's no excuse other than having some of that experience to carry over. I've never played Soulcaliber like this, never got anywhere close, and yet I'm able to hang like that. I mean, if there's ever an argument to be made for like playing fighting games, I say it a lot, right? When you are playing fighting games, you're building a skill set, and even though it is very much with that specific title, there is a kind of uniformity of fighting games that you can carry over into the next ones. And the only reason I was able to compete against that person is because I've had the experience with the other fighting games And the adaptability that I have from learning all the others is helping me adapt to this game. If I had not played those others, I mean, you've seen some of the matches where I just get beat the fuck out. That's an unfamiliarity with the game, and my adaptability isn't high enough to adjust. But you see it with that character, in this particular guy, in the particular way that he is playing, then, I mean, that is where my adaptability is. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's part of the joy of playing fighting games, is that you can kind of carry it with you, and you can sort of decipher what's going on. Even though you can't be better, you can at least feel better that you know what's going on. I enjoy it a lot. I mean, I have a great time with it. Even though this game has been really fucking getting in my culo with its lag part, if I can just put aside the lag and focus on the game, I do have a lot of fun. It's a fun game. I gotta give it up. It's a pretty fun game. I just wish it was a little bit more responsive. If it was a little more responsive, I'd feel a lot better. I'd feel a lot better just saying, okay, I can't adapt. I can't adapt. I'm too new to the game, and I don't have the experience to draw on. So that's that. I would be happy to say that across the board. But I can only say that for, like, a large chunk of my experience. Because the other large chunk of that is that there's a bunch of lag on it. And so, in addition to not being able to adapt, which is frustrating, I've got that lag. And that's just worse. It just worsens the experience. Still, as much as I have talking a lot of shit about this weird input lag and the weird netcode lag and whatever else, it is an enjoyable experience. I'm having a good game. I gotta reword that. I don't think it's a good experience. It's a fun experience, but I don't think it's a good one. I think this game is going to be definitely going to suffer a lot if they cannot get a better netcode experience going. Now, I don't know if it's netcode. I don't honestly know what it is exactly. But I mean, the brass tacks here, the real crux of this discussion, of even bringing this up, we're playing the netcode to help understand what it's going to be like, right?
6.
And we've already established that there is a weird input thing. There's a weird input delay in the menus of the game that wasn't there for a lot of people who played offline. That alone just raises so many eyebrows. And then you go online, and you've got, naturally, you're going to have the lag online. But that lag from the menus is carrying over on top of the lag online. And even though you have some 5-bar matches and stuff, I am not having a lot of fun that I should be having due to some of that input issue. I think that's how I want to phrase it. It's hard to really word it, though, because you got to understand that I am enjoying the game. But what I'm trying to say is, if you could remove that whole thing, I think this game would be really, really fun. And I am having fun, but like really, really across the board, 100% fun. Pure fighting game fun. And I'm talking like what I experienced with Tekken 7. If we could get rid of all that, then this would feel like Tekken 7 to me. It would hit me the way Tekken 7 has hit me. But I feel limited here, because we can't just rip out all that input delay on top of lag that we're dealing with here. It's impacting how I feel about the game. And I'm sitting here hitting buttons and winning and losing and learning and unlearning and just habit forming. I'm doing everything I do in a fighting game. But every time I look back and think in my matches or think in my head, why am I not going for this, that, what about these moves here? Every single time I have to second guess myself. Well, are you sure that's a good idea? Look at this lag. You can't get that precise. This is a matter of precision. And I don't know what it's like for a lot of people who play fighting games. I know what it's like for me. When I play a fighting game, I want my precision. I want to be able to put the buttons right where I want them. Anything that gets in the way of that. And it doesn't have to be netcode. It can be built-in input. Anything at all that disassociates my ability to press the button and have it happen in the game that completely destroys the experience for me. It really takes it out. It's why I have a very hard time coping with Tekken 7 online, because when the lag kicks in really bad, I mean, it's terrible. And then when you even have a really good connection, you still feel that kind of slide. And the only reason I feel it in Tekken 7 is because I've been so much in training mode. I haven't in this game. So the fact that I am feeling it in this game and not have anywhere near the time in training mode that I had in Tekken, I really think it speaks volumes as to the importance of having that kind of a low input. I really do. Whatever gets in the way of when you press a button and have it happen, I really think this game stresses the importance of not having that there. Getting rid of that buffer zone. Just get rid of it. We want as immediate an action and response as we could possibly get. I want that. And it impacts my enjoyment of the game that I don't have it. Significantly enough that I really do want to kind of put a bulletin point on this and say this is something that brings down my overall enjoyment of the game. I think it lessens the quality of the game. And this is definitely an issue that I would absolutely 100% encourage Bamco to try and fucking resolve in any way that they can come up with. Anyway, anything at all. It might be easy. I mean, we could talk about things like it might be easier to swallow if we, adjust to it. Sure, if maybe there's a reason that there's an input thing here. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe. That doesn't, for me, that doesn't make it so that I can handle it any better. Because the overall response and experience is exactly the same when I go online. It doesn't matter if it's there for a reason or there because of an accident. It doesn't matter. It's there. And it's a complete, direct influence of my experience playing the game. I'm having fun, but every time I analyze this and I reflect and I think and I invoke imagery of everything that I've done, it's all coded in this input issue that is definitely throwing me off and absolutely stops me from developing more of an intimacy with the game. I think that's a really good way to put it. I want to get closer to this game. I want to be intimate with this game. But there is that buffer zone. There's that no-play game zone that is separating me from my actions. And it's already hard in an online environment, and then the game has some on top of that. I'm not saying that I'm going to magically be better. I'm not saying I'm going to magically be better. I'm just saying that my ability to develop and to learn is directly impacted by this issue. If we could get rid of it or lessen it, I'm going to enjoy the learning process a hell of a lot more. But I just don't know if it's feasible. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it's feasible. It could be. I don't know if it's a decision. I don't know if it's an accident. I mean, we know it's with a version of the game, but we don't know if it's going to be there forever. So that definitely puts me in a cautionary state about the game's release, especially because it's only like 2 weeks out. Nevertheless, I'm going to try and come back tomorrow. I mean, Sunday's always busy, so it's hard. But I'm going to try and come back tomorrow before everything's over. Try and get some more matches in and see if I can't work through this issue that I have with the input stuff. I mean, again, it's not killing the game, but it definitely brings it down. I think maybe for some other people it's more. I think for some other people it's actually not an issue. It's hard to tell in chat because nobody actually plays in chat. But I get the sensation that this is something that could be very divisive for the people who play fighting games. This could definitely cause an issue with Soulcaliber 6 not being accepted at large. Tekken 7 was widely accepted. If for all its faults and all the shit people talk about it, which is really, I don't hear that much, it seems to be really universally accepted as an extremely well put together game, even when you go online, despite there still being issues online, which I complain all the time. It's still some of the best experience I've had. this is going to be a lesser product. And now that we've experienced Tekken 7 in terms of that kind of thing, it only brings this issue more to light. That this input stuff really needs to go away. It needs to go away. If it's there on when the product comes out, if it's there, I don't really know. I don't really know what's going to happen. Like, I feel like this game could be really, really great for a casual crowd. But even for the casual crowd, I think they are going to see that input issue, and they're going to not enjoy it. I really do. And the netcode itself isn't really helping matters. If maybe the netcode could get better, that would be great. I honestly don't know what's going to happen in the 2 weeks it has, or however much time it has. I don't think you can really, you know, do a whole lot to a netcode or a system, whatever's in place, however it handles internet communication. I don't think there's a lot you can tweak in that amount of time. And it may be that whatever this issue is, however it handles everything, it might be more than like an actual just issue. It might be just the way that it computes. I don't know what we can do about it. I don't know what they could do about it. But it could definitely bring the game down. Absolutely. This is one of those things where if this game doesn't do well, I am going to have to point to this specific issue and say this is probably why. Because it feels that impactful enough to me. And the way that I hear people talk about fighting games, just here and there, it sounds like it's an important issue just kind of across the board. So we'll see. I mean, I'm having a good time. I really definitely want to put a point on that too. Like, as much as I am complaining a lot about this input stuff, especially today, because it really hit hard. I think it's because today I was actually good enough to try and pierce through issues. I feel like I was good enough to try and pierce through, getting to the point where precision is a really good tool for me to use, and I'm trying to use precision. Sometimes I just get flat beat the fuck out. Whatever, it happens. I mean, it's just gonna happen. I'm not that good at this game, but I'm getting there. That's not that good. That's what also kind of confuses the process, though. When I talk about this input problem, those matches that I got completely creamed on, I feel like I could have not been creamed. I feel like I could have avoided a lot of the creaming. I could have gelled a little bit back if I had that precision and I knew it was more available. In Tekken, I feel like a lot of times that precision's there. So it's confusing to me why this one has something in the way of that. I guess that's really it. I mean, I kind of want to. I mean, I want to get these thoughts out while I'm here experiencing it for the first time, because I think it's really important to remember this part, especially if this is still here when the game is out fully. I really want to see what this game's going to do. I want to see what the future's like. I want to see if people are into it, if this is a big issue, or if it... Well, right now I'm saying it is a big issue. I'm saying it's a big issue. I don't know how right that is. I don't know how communally it's going to be spoken out. But I am willing to say that this kind of an input thing, this buffer, this delay, whether it's looking at it, you know, on its own, or whether combining it with the netcode, I think this is the issue that can make or break this game, and I am going to put my little flag on it and say, you know, if this does not get resolved or improved, I do not believe the product is going to see a lot of attention. I do think it could be a make or break. But let's not get too down on it, right? I mean, I don't want to get too down on it. I like the game. I'm having a good time. Whether the game succeeds or doesn't, I mean, it's not really in our hands, right? This is development land. It's what they do. I mean, in general, it's still a fighting game, so it's really got a hard hill to climb despite that. Maybe a lot of people will enjoy it just because of character creation, you know? I mean, I'm not really huge on that sort of thing. So this could be something that character creation really saves the day on. You know, single-player stuff could absolutely... Mortal Kombat kind of lived on that shit, right? Like, it had a pretty good netcode, and then it went really bad, and then they kind of went back to having a good netcode again. But it survived on its single-player story and its content. Maybe this could do the same thing. I'm really just thinking of it more from my perspective and what I do and what I like playing fighting games for, and that's to go online and fuck around and get better at them. I like getting better at fighting games in general. It could be a big issue. I think it will be a big issue. I don't know if it's gonna like impact sales exactly, but I do think it's an issue. But that's also going to be it for the night. So, Internet, thank you guys very much for hanging out tonight. It's almost a 4-hour stream. This game is definitely enjoyable. I mean, the fact that I'm able to hang with some of these really experienced guys that seem to know what they're doing, that's really enjoyable. I like that a lot. It's a very unique feeling being able to kind of break into a brand new game and contend with certain players that are definitely not on my level. They're much higher. But the ability to actually be able to like take a round or to kind of figure out something that works, it's extremely rewarding. And, you know, a couple of those matches that I lost, I did take a round. And when I took that round, it stays with me. I remember it. So whatever trash I might be spitting about the game right now, please keep in mind that I am still thinking about those matches and how much better I might be able to get. I'm still thinking about that stuff and thinking about what I could do different. Maybe, do I have a habit that is being abused? Do I not understand maybe an interaction of certain things? You know, I'm thinking about all that. And only a game that's fun and interesting is going to do that for me. I would not have this long of a ramble about this issue if this game did not appeal to me very deeply. It's absolutely, this game is trying very hard to speak to me as something that could stand with my, so far, pretty good interest in Tekken. This one is definitely starting to challenge that. But if we can get that input, what I'm saying is if that input issue was out the door, I would say this game would be right there with Tekken. I really would. I'm enjoying it that much. My initial impression is almost on par with what I had with Tekken 7. But the input stuff is there. So it does dampen it quite a bit and brings it down, and it does make me worry about the future too. But regardless, it's a fun game. I don't know if I'm really going to recommend it for release at the moment. I guess it really depends on what Bamco decides to do afterwards. You know what I mean? I kind of like based on player feedback. I'm not the only one spitting shit about this stuff, right? A lot of people mention this. I'm mentioning it because it's a personal thing. Like I'm personally trying to develop skill, right? I'm trying to get good at the game. First time picking it up, yada yada. I want that emergency. I want that precision and finesse. I want that. But the game doesn't really give it to me, so it's a big issue. But I think other people feel similarly, just because it's a fighting game, and that's kind of the nature of a fighting game. You want that precision. It's pretty important. So we'll see exactly what happens. I mean, we'll just let it go and see how it goes. I'll probably buy it on PC. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll check it out. You know, I had no doubt that Tekken was going to be popular. I had no doubt. I did not realize it was going to be popular on PC. Apparently, a lot of people play on PC. I do. I don't know what this one's going to be like. This one's a complete mystery to me. But I'll definitely check it out. I'm having a good time. That's really the important thing. So, Internet, I have once again rambled on. I apologize. I tend to have diarrhea of the mouth, but I love fighting games. I love video games in general. So, when I actually care about something, I tend to rant. I appreciate you hanging through all that. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. It's Sunday. We'll try and get some more time in on this before it's over. You know, I got plenty I got to do to kind of get the work week started. If not, I mean, I'll be back Monday. Shenmue, maybe Dragon Quest. We'll see how it goes. That's going to be that. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. We had Paladin _X hanging out. That was cool. Yeah. I'm feeling really good about my Keelik. I guess what I mean to say is I'm actually feeling good about Keelik in general. I think the guy has enough to hang. It's just a matter of figuring out how. I don't know how. But I think you can get the guy to hang with a lot of the roster. He doesn't seem like a worthless character. He actually seems competitively viable. I mean, he clearly doesn't have the goods that Mr. Nightmare has. But, you know, Nightmare's always been pretty buff. So I don't really care so much about that part. As long as my character can kind of hang a little bit, you know what I mean? I'm usually pretty happy. So we'll see how that goes. Have a wonderful night, guys. I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow. We have a huge week of video games. It's going to be huge. Not this week. Maybe. I think it's going to be more next week. When is the 5th?